Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the next cruise you have planned?
Yes, Lorene Gates, who is one of my traveling buddies, and I will be going on a Thanksgiving cruise starting at, what's the place in,
California?
no, Vancouver,
Okay.
British Columbia, and coming down the west coast of the United States, stopping at every port where they stop until the last place, which is in Old Mexico.
Okay.
And as
Um,
far as I know, that's the only traveling I'm going to be doing.
I believe you have visited every continent. Is that correct?
Yes.
Even Antarctica.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the Antarctic cruise.
Well, Margaret Miller and I went to Antarctica, and it was in January or February. Very, very cold. Matter of fact, we never got off the ship. They did bring scientists from the port down there on that had lived and worked there for a number of years or a number of months, and so they gave us a good rundown on what it was like and how their living went and that sort of thing. So we enjoyed it. We were on the ship a whole month, and you know, when you're on a ship, somebody else is taking care of everything. So we just enjoyed it.
And I believe you took a part or a portion of a world cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that, where you
Well,
started and
Holland America does a world cruise, and we started from New York City and flew to Athens, I believe, and then went up. We came home from Carrie. I can't really remember exactly what it was. We did start at Athens though, and went up. We went to what's the Chinese place?
Hong Kong.
We went to Hong Kong and went to part of Russia, and then we came home from Holland.
And you have been to Australia.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, we went to Australia years ago when everybody was able-bodied, and we spent about a month there, about 28 days, and Australia is such a huge, huge city, a huge, huge country, that we took 15 flights
Wow.
to different parts of the country during the time that we were there. Carolyn Hosted went with me then, Margaret and Gus also, and I'm so glad that we did it, because there is no possibility now of me ever being able to take another land trip like that.
I remember an interesting story when you were in Morocco about the buses, and you were looking down from your hotel room, and you.
When we were in Morocco, we were going to go across from Morocco to the past the Rock of Gibraltar to Portugal, and we got to looking out the window, and we saw people or policemen looking under the floor of the bus or under the wheels of the bus, and we said, "What are they doing?" And somebody told us that people were so anxious to get out of Morocco that if they could stick themselves, find a resting place under those buses, they would go across, and then they would get out of Morocco and be able to live a different life.
One other trip I want to ask you about. About this time last year, we had our family reunion, and you had to leave us early because you had gotten some dates a little bit mixed up, but you went with Barb and Martha Hosted to Alaska. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it was a cruise also, but then we spent 4 or 5 days on land, and we got to go to Denali National Park, and there you could see animals, moose, bear, goats, just about any and every kind. And so I was really pleased that we were able to do the land part too, because you only see big ports if you do just the cruise.
Well, I know all of us watching this hope we live to be 85 and older. You have been you've had your share of illnesses and accidents, but you have weathered the storm. And do you have any words of wisdom imparting to us family members of how to live a good life?
Well, the one thing that I would say, and I know that all of you know that I'm a Christian, that God is important to me, and I think as long as you hold on to that faith and put your trust in Him, then God's going to be with you and is going to see you through whatever comes.
Okay, well, thank you so much for giving us all this family history, and we love you, and we'll sign off.